On December 9th of 2023, a surgeon named Tiffany was inside an operating room filming an instructional video for her surgical students when something stopped her cold. She stepped back and left the room almost immediately. According to her, something in that space had been watching her. This footage comes from an account built entirely around medical education. Every video on the page exists to train future surgical technicians. Nothing that was ever meant for this. But this video was posted as an open plea, directed at anyone who might be able to explain what was captured. Tiffany had no answer. She was hoping someone else did. This is her footage.
At chromic catgut, the difference is, I'm so sorry, my brain. Okay, here we go, back. Okay. So here we have two different kinds of sutures, polypropylene monofilament and chromic catgut. The difference between these two is that this one is dissolvable and it's animal derived, and the sutures last anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Literally tearing up right now. I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it. Can you please just show yourself? Just give me a sign. Do whatever you want.
What began as a structured lesson on sutures dissolved the moment. Tiffany glimpsed a figure standing at the window before it turned and vanished toward the far end of the hospital at a speed she couldn't account for. The sighting lasted seconds, but it was enough to stop her entirely. She couldn't identify what it was, but the staff around her didn't seem surprised. According to those who work there, nearly everyone has ever encountered something. A A sound where there should be silence. A shape where there should be nothing. And consistently, one location had earned a reputation above all others. The women's restroom, regarded by staff as the most active spot in the building. Tiffany moved toward it with her camera rolling and found nothing. Until a door swung open without contact and a dark shape cut through the hallway with a speed that didn't belong to anything living. What unsettles those who watch most isn't what appears. It's how fast the shape crosses from one side to the other, as though it has no intention of being seen. The account has said little since. Only 1 or 2 posts addressed that night, and none fully provide answers. Whatever passed through those halls left something the footage alone could never resolve. And Tiffany has been carrying it since.
On September 27th of 2024, a woman named Jallen reached for her phone. The moment something shifted at the edge of her vision. It wasn't common. But tonight it happened once more. She had been lying in bed with her laptop open, working late, when movement caught her from the corner of her eye. The setting carried its own weight. She was staying at her grandparents' house, a home filled with vintage objects whose history she had never been able to trace. Jallen believed some of those items carried something she couldn't name. But even setting that belief aside, what followed that night would have made anyone reluctant to return to this place. She kept the camera steady.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all the talking heads would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and sticking fork in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a good win, and see how they react moving forward.
There's a saying in golf, there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're down, you don't care if it's by 5 or it's going to be like, you're just happy that you moved for 2 or 2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point, he just left by a part of the left shoe off. How do you assess what that man needs to do? Feels a lot better if he's on the feet.
I mean, that would be, if he's missing any significant time, I mean, he's the best player on the defensive side of the football.
Oh my God.
Really, because they have to be playing from the hand. Cowboys are best suited when they have a lead and they get on their pass rush. But if you don't have that guy,
The door just moved.
Winning percentage or 60% when they're facing open.
33 proposed 100 affordable housing laws, including the
Quiet early on, much more involved, particularly
the safety over the top, and you'll see right down here. Ending ever, a free personal Suzuki dessert. An entree plus free dessert, just $13. That's a sweet deal.
level and they weren't able to kick a field goal late. There's a lot of involved.
Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
was at that moment that Jallen understood what she had seen was not a trick of the light. It was something real and deliberate. The mannequin had moved. Not dramatically, not with any theatrical jolt, but with the slow, careful shift of something working hard to avoid detection. The movement only occurred when Jallen's gaze was directed elsewhere, as though it had mapped the precise limits of her attention. So she used the mirror, watching the reflection rather than the figure directly, and caught it in the act. But those who studied the footage closely noticed something else that deepened the unease considerably. The balloon drifting at the wrong moment, the door swinging shut at exactly the right time. Both appeared timed to redirect Jallen's attention away from the mannequin whenever she came close to seeing it directly. As though something in that room was actively coordinating the distractions. The pattern was difficult to dismiss as coincidence. Jallen held her focus through every interruption and caught what she came for. The mannequin moving with no rational explanation attached. Whether the other objects played a deliberate role or were simply the strange backdrop to an already inexplicable event remains a question that no one watching this footage has yet been able to answer. On December 21st of 2024, a mother named Anisha shared a video her 4-year-old son had recorded overnight. By a belief, millions of children carry this time of year. He was certain the elf on the shelf toy came to life after dark, that it moved through the house and left signs of mischief by morning. Parents across the country had built this into their routines, rearranging rooms at night and crediting the elf by sunrise. But Anisha's son had no intention of taking anyone's word for it. He positioned a camera in front of the toy, aimed it at the shelf, and let it record through the night. What he found the next morning drained the excitement from his face instantly. He brought it to his mother. Her reaction was identical, immediate, visceral, and unshakable. Neither of them could explain what the camera had captured while they slept.
Can I pour some in my cup?
Anisha sat down expecting to watch a toy shift on a shelf. What appeared instead arrived without warning. The silhouette of a child materialized in the frame, motionless, unnervingly thin, present for only a moment, before vanishing without taking a single step. No visible exit. It simply ceased to occupy the space. Viewers kept returning to the figure's proportions. The extreme thinness was the detail most couldn't move past. Some described it as resembling something that had stopped breathing long ago. That observation brought no clarity but made the image considerably harder to sit with. Anisha didn't hesitate in her conclusion. She believed a child's spirit had entered that room during the night, drawn by the same curiosity her son had felt, the desire to witness something come alive in the dark. Neither the spirit nor the elf obliged. But the figure on that camera has not stopped occupying Anisha's mind since. This next footage comes from a woman named Versani, a mother raising her family in a house that has quietly become a source of dread.
From the outside, the neighborhood offers nothing threatening. Quiet streets, ordinary days, the kind of setting where concerns stay small. But the house itself has been different from the start. Versani describes a persistent pattern of disturbances she cannot attribute to anyone living there. Cabinets found standing open in an otherwise empty home. Her children describing shapes moving through the darkness in the hours before dawn. The whole family had been on edge since moving in, but the baby had absorbed the worst of it. Something seemed drawn to that room in particular, returning with a consistency that had become impossible to ignore or explain away. What follows is one documented moment among many. But this one left the family shaken in a way that simple unease no longer covered. Without the baby monitor in that room, Versani would have had no way of knowing where the sound had come from. She searched the entire space and found nothing until she reviewed the footage. The noise had come from inside the dollhouse. Moments before it sounded, the toy had lifted off the floor, hovering barely a fraction of a second, before being launched upward and striking the interior wall with a sharp, audible crack. Versani flinched when it happened, and again watching it back. She has since rearranged the room and taken steps to limit what her children encounter there at night. The activity has not stopped. What lifted that toy? And what else may have occurred in that room on nights when no camera was running is a question Versani still returns to often.
This video comes from Hannah P., a viewer who had just finished dinner when something interrupted the silence of the house. No one else was home. From the staircase came a creak, distinct, deliberate, the kind of sound produced when weight is placed on wood that no one has touched. Hannah looked up from her phone but stayed exactly where she was. Her camera was running as whatever occupied those stairs made itself known.
I was invited because of lesbian geography, and we've been together almost ever since for 40 years.
What was your first impression of her after meeting her?
So exotic. Wearing a normal Molly sweatsuit. And I was in blue jeans and a plaid button-down shirt and a big
Hello?
Hannah has described this as one of the more unsettling incidents in that house. And it isn't the first. The staircase produced sounds of steady pressure moving from step to step, though nothing visible occupied them. Her dog responded immediately, locking onto the stairs the moment the creaking began. Then the pattern changed. The creaks became rapid, charging footsteps descending toward Hannah before going abruptly silent. Her dog's reaction alone would have raised questions about what moved through that hallway. Hannah has grown more accustomed to these incidents over time, but familiarity has brought no explanation. Whatever descends those stairs has not yet revealed what it is. This is Mr. Vokrin. New cases every week. And the video on your screen right now, it's already chosen for you. Don't keep it waiting.